Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the natural disasters, earthquakes. Earthquakes are common in the earthquake zones like Taiwan or Japan. However, there was an earthquake in China in which earthquakes rarely occurred and that inflicted heavy losses. It was called the Tang Shan Earthquake. It was one of the deadliest earthquakes in China. Happened in 1976 and had a magnitude of 7.8. It caused 248,211 deaths. Because it happened at midnight, no one was able to protect themselves due to lack of awareness. Besides, the place was considered one in which earthquakes were rare, so no one expected earthquakes to appear and devastate the whole region completely. For the survivors in the Tang Shan earthquake, they weren't able to obtain food and water for approximately 15 hours. Thus, many people died due to the lack of resources eventually. According to the data, it was claimed to cause the most deaths in the 20th centuries. Afterwards, there were 4,204 kids who became orphans while 164,000 of residents were seriously injured. To my surprise, the scope of earthquake's destruction extended to 30,000 square kilometers and had the record of second most deaths in China. The focus of the earthquake was 12 kilometers below the Earth's surface and the shake continued for about 10 seconds. Surprisingly, the whole city was suddenly covered with dust and rock. With regards to the constructions being impaired, 78% of industrial buildings, 93% of residence buildings, 80% of water pumps and 14% of sewers in Tang Shan were all damaged seriously. Besides, there was a net loss of 5.4 billion new Taiwan dollars for China's economy. In the meantime, the President Mao Zedong was close to death, and the political situation was both rather unstable. Hence, the acts of relieving the victims were limited. Nevertheless, China refused to accept any rescue efforts and donations from other countries due to the fact that they concerned about exclusion of foreign influences. 30 years later, there were some movies and literature such as Aftershock that based on this subject. Some of those even reached the awards. There were also monuments to commemorate the rescuers, the victims, and this incident as well. In 2016, the current president, Xi Jinping, revisited Tang Shan, attended the 40th anniversary of the earthquake, and presented bouquets to the stelae of the victims. He claimed that he attempted to create Tang Shan initially and upgrade the quality of life and also the development of the transportations. In my opinion, I think Tang Shan earthquake was too dramatic. It was before when I was born, so I could barely imagine the scenarios and also how violent it was. If I were there, I would really want to observe how the buildings collided, roads collapsed, and how rescuers have saved the inhabitants. The only serious natural disaster I've experienced were the typhoons. I wish that Tang Shan could soon develop to a magnificent and convenient city where natural disasters are less harmful than.
What can I say except you're welcome for the tides, the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay, you're welcome. I'm just an ordinary demiguy.